In this video, we are going to see what is interface and why we use interface in object-oriented programming. Can we use multiple interfaces on a single class? Let's get started. Welcome guys, in this video we are going to see the interfaces in object-oriented programming. So interface provide us, it specifies which methods a class must implement, and it's like you don't have to provide the body to that function, you just simply can define the name of a function and that function a class. Whoever implements that particular interface must include that particular function. So let's see an example here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an interface. To create an interface, it's quite similar to class. So when you define a class, you say class and you say, let's create a base class here. So now if I want to say interface, so it's going to be interface simply, and you give the name to the interface. So I say here base interface. All right, now inside this base interface, if I define a function and that function needs to be used, it is going to be a condition, it must be used in any class which is going to implement from this interface. Let's see here. So I say here a function, so it's going to be public, so all functions should be public in interface. So it's going to be public function display data, just a random function. And now I go here in base class and I say here implements. Okay, now I need to say implements what, so we're going to provide the interface name here, so it's going to be base interface. All right, now if I create the object, so I say $base is equal to new base, and I try to access a function, so I say here base. Now currently we don't have any function in the base class, so let's create one. So I say public function display content, and let's say this function returns 1 to 3 for now, just to check. And here I say display content. All right, now here we need to echo it to see this. Now at this point we are going to get an error, and that error will say that we should implement this function, we should use this function. So let's see here, I refresh the page, we get line 8, but I missed a semicolon here. Now if I go here and refresh, so it says class base contain one abstract method, must therefore be declared abstract, implement the remaining methods. So we need to use this method now. So what I do, I say here another method, public function display data, and return 2, 3, 4. All right, now this error will go away and we will get 1, 2, 3. Now if you noticed, we did not use this function. This is there and it is here, but we are working with display content currently, so it is not required that you be working with this function. The condition is if you are using an interface and implementing it on any class, you need to include that function, the function that is present in the interface. Now just for example, if I put here $name, right, and I save this, it is also going to generate an error. So I refresh here, so it says it must be compatible. So the reason is, if it is taking an argument, we need to make sure that the function that we are using inside our class takes that argument as well. So if I refresh here, we get no error. So this is how you do it if you have multiple functions and you work with any kind of application where you need to include some function by default. So you can use interface, and interface will make sure that you include those functions here. Now if I call this display here and without passing argument, we are going to get error obviously. So we have two view arguments. So in this case, we need to provide the name. So I'm going to pass Roger, and then here I'm going to just return $name. All right, and this time we are passing using the function, so it's working just fine. So now we can also use one interface on top of another. So for example, I have an interface here which is implementing this class. This class is implements from this interface. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say here another interface. I can say interface, and it's going to be base B interface, just like that. And I want to say that this requires a function. So I say here and public function and this display name. All right, so this is a function that I'm going to be used. Now what I can do here is I can say here extends, and this time base interface. All right, now if I go here and I change this base, we can simply put B here. So this is going to be the same with this. So now, what do you think is going to happen? Well, we are going to get an error now because this function is also required in this case, because this interface and this interface require these two methods to be included in this class, as this is in implementing this interface. So let's see here, I get a refresh. It says abstract method display name, we need to include it. So I go here, I just copy and paste this code, and I call here display name, and display name is not taking any argument there, so we can remove the argument. I just say 1, 2. All right, so now we have these both functions from both the interfaces in this class. So this should be working just fine. So let's go here and refresh. We get the name. So this is how you use interface in PHP, and you will see more advanced options in coming videos. I hope you got a use of this. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Goodbye.
And our goal is not in her.